Hi there, friends. This is Bill Houston with the Bill Houston Podcast, and I have some late breaking news for you. The Constitution Pipeline, which is a 121-mile pipeline from Susquehanna County, Pennsylvania, up into Schoharie County, New York, has apparently just been approved by FERC. Yes, you heard that right. Yes, I'm shocked too. So we're going to get into this and talk about this decision and what it means, and maybe we can all put our thinking caps on and figure out something we can do with this decision. So first of all, I'm going to tell you that I work in the public interest, and I have, for about the last 10 years, I have done a lot of public service work involved with fighting fracking in New York, fighting pipelines, including the Constitution Pipeline, which I've fought since 2012 when I did my first video series on that. I've shot lots of the public hearings. I've even organized civil disobedience training sessions around the Constitution Pipeline. So all you have to do is type in Bill Houston's fracking resume into your favorite search engine, and what you will find is a listing of my skills and all of the projects I've been involved with for about the last 10 years. And if you are grateful for these broadcasts that I do, and grateful for the original research that I've done, or the videos that I've made, or the audio interviews that I've made, then I would appreciate, right now, donations in any amount, because I am in a dire financial situation right now, and I really need to raise $3,000 to $4,000 just to basically keep a roof over my head. So if you want more information, just email me, and I'll be glad to tell you more details. WilliamAHouston@gmail.com. Okay, so, and if you want to donate, you can donate directly by PayPal to tinyurl.com/donate to Bill Houston. And if you don't remember that, just remember Bill Houston's fracking resume. Just type that into your favorite search engine, and at the very bottom of that page you will see my PayPal link and also my USPS post office address, which is William Houston, P.O. Box 22, Endicott, New York 13761. Okay, so now let's get into this decision here, and let's see if we can put on our thinking caps and figure out what we should do with this information. Okay, so here's the order that we just got in from FERC. And before I show you this, let me show you the, I just went on eLibrary, FERC's eLibrary website, and I typed in CP18-5. Now, what you will notice is if you were one of the original interveners in this FERC case, then what you're going to notice is that the docket number has changed. And let me just do this. The docket number has changed. So the old docket number was something like CP13-499. I think that's right. The new docket number, take note of it, is CP18-5. And when you go to that docket, you're going to see just a single issuance, and it's an order by FERC, and you can grab the Word document or the FERC-generated PDF. So here is the FERC order on voluntary remand. Let's just read this, because this is going to explain to us what's going on here. All right, this case involving a petition for declaratory order filed by the Constitution Pipeline Company is before the Commission on voluntary remand from the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. At issue is the question whether, in light of D.C. Circuit's recent decision in Hoopa Valley Tribe versus FERC, that the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, New York DEC, waived its authority under Section 401 of the Clean Water Act to issue or deny a water quality certification for the proposed Constitution Pipeline project. As discussed below, we reverse the determination in the declaratory order issued in these proceedings on January 11th, 2018, and conclude that New York DEC waived its authority. let me give you the high-level picture, okay? The high-level picture is that New York State, the DEC, under Andrew Cuomo, denied a critical permit for the Constitution Pipeline. It's called the Clean Water Act, a Section 401 permit. And there's two different flavors of these. One's called the 404 permit, which is the jurisdiction of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They're both federal permits, but the 401 is administered by the states. So what New York tried to do is tried to kill this pipeline by denying the 401 permit. And it hadn't really been done before, surprisingly. No state, I don't know of any state that tried to stop a pipeline by denying the 401 before. Most of them just rubber stamp it. But because of the pressure that activists like you and me put on our governor, the 401 was denied by New York. So Constitution Pipeline basically did a petition for declaratory order before FERC. Let's just continue reading because I think it's going to make sense. On June 13th, 2011, Constitution applied to the Commission for a Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity pursuant to Section 7 of the Natural Gas Act to construct and operate a 125-mile-long Constitution Pipeline project from Pennsylvania into New York. Section 401A of the Clean Water Act requires that the applicant for a federal license or permit to conduct activities that may result in a discharge into the navigable waters of the United States, such as the Constitution Pipeline Project, must provide to the licensing or permitting agency a water quality certification from the state in which the discharge originates. If the state, quote, fails or refuses to act on the request for a certification within a reasonable length of time, which shall not exceed 1 year, after receipt of such request, then the certification is waived. On August 22, 2013, Constitution submitted an application to the New York State DEC to obtain a water quality certification for the Constitution Pipeline Project, for which New York's DEC acknowledged receipt on that same day. On May 9, 2014, Constitution sent a 2-page letter to the New York State DEC, simultaneously withdrawing and resubmitting its application. The Commission issued a certificate to Constitution on December 2, 2014, upon finding that the Constitution Pipeline Project is required by the Public Convenience and Necessity. The certificate requires that before the Commission may commence construction, it must file documentation that it has received all applicable authorizations required under federal law, including a Section 401 water quality certification or evidence of a waiver thereof. On December 24th, 2014, the New York State DEC issued a Notice of Complete Application and opened a public comment period. On April 27, 2015, Constitution sent a second 2-page letter to the New York State DEC, identical to the May 9, 2014 letter, simultaneously withdrawing and resubmitting its application. New York DEC issued a second Notice of Complete Application on April 27, 2015, and a press release on April 29, 2015, announcing a second public comment period. On April 22, 2016, the New York State DEC denied Constitution's application. Here's a table of the dates. Constitution petitioned for review of New York State DEC's denial at the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. There we go. So this is how we get into the federal courts. The court concluded that it lacked jurisdiction to address Constitution's claim, so the Constitution then petitioned the Commission for a declaratory order finding that the New York DEC had waived its authority. The Commission found that the record did not show that New York State in any instance failed to act on an application that was before it more than 1 year from the date New York State DEC received a resubmitted application. The Commission affirmed its determination on rehearing. Constitution, so that the Commission they're talking about is FERC. Constitution sought review by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. This is how we got to the D.C. Circuit. On January 25, 2019, the D.C. Circuit decided in this unrelated case called Hoopa Valley Tribe versus FERC. This is getting a little technical here, but they're basically trying to say that due to this Hoopa Valley case, that the New York State DEC waived their right to deny this permit because the time was expired. Let me just cut right to the end now. We're going to cut to the chase. So paragraph 52, this is the killer. So let's just recap, okay? Before we continue reading. So, Constitution Pipeline was doing all this work to try to build their pipeline. They had to get these permits from not only from FERC, a certificate of public convenience and necessity from FERC, but also some permits from Army Corps of Engineers and also the New York State DEC and a few other federal agencies. New York State, due to pressure from people like us, decided to deny the Clean Water Act permit, which basically killed the Constitution Pipeline. A couple of things happened, but basically this went before the D.C. Circuit. Constitution took this denial to the D.C. Circuit, which is an appellate court, and it's the court of original jurisdiction for challenging FERC decisions. So Constitution brought the lawsuit to the D.C. Circuit, and then FERC, the federal regulatory agency, went to the D.C. Circuit and petitioned for a remand, which says, why don't you give the decision back to us, back to FERC, and just let us make the decision. We'll do the right thing. And the D.C. Circuit agreed. So the D.C. Circuit remanded this case. I hope you're following this because it's a lot of details, but the D.C. Circuit sent the case back to FERC. And what FERC just did today was basically say, we have found that the DEC erred and waived their right to challenge the 401 permit. While this case was being litigated in the D.C. Circuit, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, the DEC, petitioned FERC for a stay of any decision until this case was properly litigated. FERC just, upon this remand back to FERC to make the final decision, FERC just said, nope, we're going to build this pipeline. So they just gave it the okay. That seems to be what happened. So they just said it would not be in the public interest to stay construction. DEC was saying, hold it, let's just wait till this is fully litigated. FERC just denied the stay because the DC Circuit Court basically remanded the case back to FERC, which gives FERC the sole discretion. So I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I'm sure we're all going to be waiting on Anne Marie Garti from Stop the Pipeline to file her commentary on what this is all about. I think most appeals have been exhausted by this point. I just don't know. I'm not an attorney. So we're going to wait for the attorneys to come back and tell us what the implications of this really means. But my understanding is that what this means is that FERC has just approved the Constitution Pipeline. So, I don't know what we're going to do. Are we going to all get on buses and go back to Albany? Are we going to be demanding that Governor Cuomo bring out the National Guard? Are we going to reactivate the Nonviolent Direct Action Group and start planning on doing lockdowns if this thing gets built? I don't know. It's all up to you. This is all a breaking story. So please leave a comment below and tell us what you think should be done. Should we do nonviolent direct action? Should we go just hang out in Albany until Cuomo brings out the National Guard? What's your idea? Leave a comment below. Please be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe to the Bill Houston podcast on YouTube so that you can get notifications of all new broadcasts, especially if you click the bell. And I just want to say thank you to my donors. I'm going to add you to this list if you donate anytime, any amount to keep me on the air and to keep a roof over my head and keep a little bit of food, some rice and lentils in my belly so that I can stay alive. Donations in any amount are greatly appreciated right now, and they're greatly needed. So these are all my donors right here. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Dave Decker, Becky Diorio, Roger Downs, Cynthia Ellis, Wes Ernsberger, Sheila Filmaridis, Mary Finneran, Adam Flint, Hope for Peace, Jack Gilroy, Heidi Goggins, Liam Goodacre, Dave Gorman, thank you, Gene Greger, Sarah Hess, Peter Hudeberg, all these people, God bless you. I can't believe I have friends as good as you. So if you want to join this list of esteemed people, please just go to tinyurl.com/donate to Bill Houston. And if you forget that, then please just go to Bill Houston's Fracking Resume. Plug that into any search engine, and you're going to get a list of all of my accomplishments over the last 10 years. And also at the bottom is links to my donate link to my PayPal, and also my snail mail address. If you want to send me a check or a money order, you can send it to William Houston, Houston, and my address is P.O. Box 22, Endicott, New York 13761. So thank you for watching. Please like this video, share this video, please subscribe to the Bill Houston podcast, and we're going to see you next time. And I really, 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 really appreciate you for watching the show, for giving me any positive feedback, constructive criticism, and especially donations in any amount, because I really need it now more than ever. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Again, remember, subscribe to the Bill Houston podcast. Thanks a lot. Over and out.